In this video, I'm going to show you how we can go from this to this when planning an event. So let's dive right in. All right, so I'm going to be referring over to my left screen to look at the client's image, build this out. I already started a little bit, but then I want the video, so I'm picking up where. So to start, a lot of people, anytime we post videos, 3D event planning, everyone asks me the same question: what software do we use? This is Trimble SketchUp. I think it might have used to be Google, I'm not sure. Somebody bought somebody out, but Trimble SketchUp. Everything that we've built in our layouts has been custom. So of course we use templates, point hooks here, you know, the ratchets, but the stakes were custom built. These aluminum poles and sink plates on poles and build about that. And here's the really cool part. So we keep the top transparent so that when we send clients layout, they can see the layout in full. But then when we do walkthroughs with clients, check this out, it is a white vinyl, so we can see that in when we add lighting in. It's super cool and extremely real. So let's start diving into this and building this layout here. We got the client wanting 4. These are 8-foot farm tables, and I'm going to try to be, I'm going to take my time, but I'm also your time. I'll just talk as I continue to build this out and really just walk you through how we build these out and how it helps client events. So I am vinyl, sometimes that's an object, but I am going to, so a lot of times, as you can see, by the time this video is done, you'll be able to see the client's layout probably over video. But a lot of times clients will send us these and we have the ability to throw them into this, and everything is fit to. So in this case, this is a 40 by 80 10, and we can use our measuring to show you that this is 80 feet by 40 feet. So everything is fit to scale. The dance floor, the tables, which is probably the most beneficial part of the tool, because when clients send us layouts, they don't have an idea of scale, and our layouts are what allows that to happen. We want to copy over. First, I'm going to delete all because this layout has been modified, so I don't really need these. So another row. So as you can see, the client had marked center poles, but sometimes in the client's layout versus our layout, it doesn't line up all one. So I'm more than like with a bit. We're gonna 4 more. This. And it's not just about what size tent you need, it's also like flow patterns. So we speak a lot about flow patterns when we plan events, because you want to make sure there is enough space to move around. So one way to use these tools and how we build our one way we use these tools are to check to make sure everything fits in. We're gonna do this. It might not ideal, gonna be a little bit annoying, but yeah, anyways, another tool is to design. Like events are still the same as they were 20, 50 years ago, but innovation, technology, how you plan, there used to be a day where it is a little snug, but we will review this with the client and see. And we do give a little generous space off of the table. That is good, almost 2 feet. And once they're under the table, it won't bad either. Building. But a lot of times when we're building these and we send them over to the client, it's pretty eye-opening to move things around. And then plus when you think about setup, when everything is basically laid out exactly and fit to scale, you don't have those concerns like back in the day when you were planning events and you had to kind of guess or do math, writing it out on a formula. Those were a little bit more challenging. Visual, especially in the technological space, the way we're moving, the visuals are critical, especially if you're an event company as well. I know they have Party CAD, maybe some other ones are, no, it's all seated and whatever those 3Ds are now, it's all still good. They all still work. What's nice with those are having the ability to directly send it. We have to take screenshots still, but we're working on something pretty innovative, which is getting connected with VR. That's actually kind of here. I'm gonna move food tables. Yeah, the biggest game changer is going to be the VR integration. We're able to put a head and show you exactly, and you can actually kind of in the tent. That part's real. So that's still in production. We technically have it ready to roll. It's just a little bit of, it's very new and modern. Another question we get that I'll answer while I build this is a lot of clients ask, we do client. That would definitely be super cool. That would definitely be super cool, and I would love that. Not even thinking about how easy for us if we did build ourselves, but sometimes you need that expertise to their layout, and maybe they want to take a look at what we have. An 8-foot go in. I'm gonna go grab tier. Let's go with maybe another, take those trays. Yeah, a lot of times it would be more helpful if the client could play around in things, but then again, there's some things that we rental company can spot and see will work or won't work, and sometimes we have to review them. But that's why clients, if they send us like a 3D or I'm sorry, not a 3D, if they send us like a layout, this, we're able to just do the heavy lift and build the layout. Also, if you don't mind, I would love if you could subscribe, follow, like this, give it a thumbs up if you find this helpful. And if you have any questions, obviously, just like any video, leave a comment. We're trying to grow our YouTube platform, so I'd be more than happy to engage and help answer any questions that you have. So we're gonna look up for a stage. So this is the 3D warehouse, and it is, just pre-built things from other users. And a lot of times I'll start with this and then we'll custom more of what we need. So I'm looking for just the most realistic on it. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm going to copy this, make sure the dimensions, I don't know the rod, they have 8 by 8. So hit T for your shortcut, 4 feet by 16. So we basically want this one, well, explode this. We're gonna have to like manually delete this whole side. Sometimes when you're dealing with things from the 3D warehouse, kind of pick your worth your time. I could have easily just made a triangle or a square and duplicated this, or I'm sorry, built it from scratch, but it just wouldn't look. Now, feet, stage. Now our skirting isn't all the way around, but it's gonna be the back side. So paint this. So we'll paint this and skirting black. And sometimes these are tedious. If I already had a stage out much faster. Let's see if we can at least. One thing I will say is when I'm building 3D layouts, I try to be as thorough as possible. I think if we have a better chance to get the job, help the client in general, I want it to be. Remember this shortly. Boom. There we go. Okay, so we've got this little stage. We'll group this together. Height of the two a little bit. This in. Ceremony stage. It's one thing that's kind of around that. So I think, as much as I'd love to center it pole, we're gonna over. And honestly, unless I'm missing, but let's take all of these. Let's give this breathing room there. To be honest, what we do is let the client. When we build these things, of course, like we have an opinion of what works, fits, that, and the other. But a lot of times it's like, hey, here's what our options are, and what do you? But let's 4 inches. So we want to be right on that edge, but we don't want to like hug it off a little. It's all the tent. It's another question a lot of people ask us, especially online, not so much locally. They ask, if they get confused, they say, what are your services? Like, is this what you do? Is this your business? Which is the 3D layout. Part of not the only. So what I'm actually going to do here, I think because I'm picking up what they're down, I'm wondering if this is, so they're, see, then we run into food. That's a bar. You don't want the tables to be right there too tight. So let's actually slide these. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave it up client because this is essentially what they request, but it just looks like it's a little bit more spaced out on there. But it doesn't enter in the actual layout of the tent. This is more fit to scale. So what we can do is tell the client, hey, this is a little bit tight. We want to space these down a little bit, the bar here, and kind of give them what they want. So of course, if you're looking at the thumbnail of the video, you're probably like, wait, this doesn't match the photo that they sent. Well, that's because we need to talk to the client and review the options with them and kind of break this down a little bit better to see. So, but that's essentially how we take a 2D layout, turn it into a 3D layout so that the client can get the best possible visual. Okay, that is how we make 3D layouts in our system. I hope you found value in that video. If you did, would really appreciate a thumbs up, subscribe, like, follow wherever you're seeing this video. And really appreciate your support. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and we will guarantee get back to you with any supportive help that we can provide or any value on event planning. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video.